So, you're thinking about making a move to Gresham, Oregon. We've already helped thousands of people make that move, and what I thought were pros and cons doesn't even touch the list of the people who I've already worked with. Being a local, it can sometimes be easy to have your blinders on and not notice a whole lot of things. So today, I've put together a list of 5 pros and 5 cons, and 2 of the items on the list, I didn't even think that they were pros and cons, but who am I to judge? Let's get started. Alrighty guys, so for pro number 1, we're going to chat a little bit about the geography. So in Gresham, right now I'm at Gresham Station Shopping Center. We've got a few box stores here, Old Navy, Burlington Coat Factory, Best Buy, and other places. So we're about 20 to 30 minutes away from downtown Portland and PDX Airport. And so because of our close proximity within airports and downtown Gresham as well, Portland, not Gresham, we're going to have some bigger box stores and eating areas as well. But other than that, that's what I've got for geography. Okay, so for the first con that I'd like to discuss while I'm still here in Gresham Station Shopping Center, at least, is to chat a little bit about the dining. So we do have plenty of shopping around here. This is just one of 3 of the shopping centers that we have here in Gresham. As far as dining, we've got plenty of restaurants. Just if we're talking about like higher end dining, like date night with the wife, right? Then you might have to go a little bit outside of Gresham into downtown Portland, just to find something a little bit more high end. So for con number 1, I'm going to say overall dining experiences are okay. So for pro number 2, what I'd like to chat about is that Gresham is just an overall very family friendly oriented place. Right now I'm at Gresham Main City Park, and right here there's a pretty big park playground next to me. That's HB right there. But you've also got a dog park and a Japanese garden as well. And then we've got some baseball fields over here, about 2. In the summer, kids are playing the baseball and soccer and whatnot. And then also up behind me here, I don't know if you guys can see the kids playing or not up there. There's also a skate park up there. So for all ages, all age groups, you can definitely find somebody of a friend up here. Okay, so before we head into the Japanese garden, what I'd like to show you guys here is we've got a little gazebo and the dog park right behind me here. I've got 2 greyhounds and I always take them here myself. They love it here and like to run around. It's not the biggest dog park, I will say that, but it does get the job done. Okay, so for con number 2, what I'd like to chat a little bit about is the overall cleanliness and the homelessness. Right here behind me, they're actually building a library. It should be done here, I don't know, in the next year or so. They started it about a year ago. But as I was saying, with homelessness and cleanliness, this is the last stop for the max. So it goes all the way into Portland, and then this is the last stop as well as on the other side to Gresham. And so because it's the last stop for the max, we'll sometimes have homeless people coming from Portland into Gresham as well. And just because it's the last stop, that's sometimes where they get off. So for homelessness and overall cleanliness, I'm going to say that's a negative, obviously, because with homelessness that does affect the overall cleanliness of the city. So for that, I'm going to put it as a negative. Okay, so for pro number 3, what I'd like to chat about is that for Gresham, it's just an overall small town community vibe, right? We like to look over each other's neighbors and care after each other. For population, we're sitting at about 115,000 people, and for Portland, it's about 630,000. Right now, I'm across the street from Main City Park, the park that we were at earlier, and I'm at the water park where we're at right now. In the summer, we'll have water fountains coming up from these areas over here, middle of January right now, so we aren't going to see that. But generally speaking, with Gresham, as far as population, it has actually decreased about 4% since 2020, consistently about 1% every year. So it is a little bit more affordable, targeting those first-time home buyers. Okay, guys, so for con number 3, what I'd like to chat a little bit about is the overall nightlife. Right now I'm in downtown Gresham, and for the overall nightlife, I will say there's not a whole lot. We've got a few bars here in Gresham. I want to say like 3 to 4, maybe like 1 or 2 of them is actually good. But while I'm talking about that, I just kind of thought I'd show you guys downtown a little bit. Right here behind me, we've got a pretty good Italian restaurant. It's called Bocelli's. Been there a handful of times with my friends. I think back in high school, I went there for like prom. Like again, I went to Gresham High School, so I know this area pretty well. And then we've got frozen yogurt over here as well. This is kind of where, I shouldn't say it ends, but it gets more boring. It's not with the whole shops down here. And then we'll take a view down here as well later on down. We'll take you guys with me. Okay, so I am pretty much just down Main Street right now. I don't want to get in the way with all these cars here. But we've got a coffee shop right behind me. This is Cafe Delirium. I think it's actually closing down here pretty soon. But don't quote me on that. We've got a Mediterranean restaurant as well called Nicholas's. This is super good. My dad and stepmom love this place. They try to go here when they can, at least. I'll cross the street over here left and right. We've got the Local Cow and Eye Candy as well. The Local Cow is pretty busy here, isn't it? Local Cow is it's a pretty good burger shop. They've got, I don't know, somewhere between 6 or 8 burgers on their menu. But what is the saying? Quality versus quantity? Yeah, I think that's it. Quality versus quantity. But this is Eye Candy. Why don't we just take a look in the candy shop and I'll just take you guys with me. Okay, thank you. So here is actually, I actually like this place. I haven't been in here for a while, but this is Eye Candy. They've got some, tan, pretty much just like a candy shop, which you'd find like at the beach or on the coast. I will turn the camera around if I can. Here, let's take a view like this. Here we go. How's it going? Good. You don't care if I record in here, are you? Cool. Got some ice cream as well. All right. So that's Eye Candy. Seen a little bit of downtown Gresham, the downtown area. Let me hold that for you. There you are. You bet. So yeah, that's a good amount. I shouldn't say a good amount, at least the heart of downtown Gresham. There's next to Main City Park across the way in downtown Gresham, there's also a little bit of a park and water slides as well. Definitely we'll take a look at that as well in a moment. And then of course we've got East Hill Family Church and then another shopping center kind of down this way. We may or may not have time for that. We'll see. Alrighty, now for the fourth pro that I'd like to chat about is the overall easy access to nature, right? In Gresham, we're about an hour 20 minutes away, depending on traffic, from the mountain, Mount Hood. We've got Timberline Lodge, Ski Bowl, Mount Hood Meadows, about 3 different places on there. Believe it or not, Timberline has the only skiable glacier in the United States, not in North America, but in the United States. Ski Bowl has the largest night skiing facility in the United States. What else do I know? That's about it for skiing. For the Columbia River Gorge, right? That's about 20-30 minutes away from Gresham. In the summer, you can do inner tubing, get your boat out there, bring the kids and family. They even have the Government Island, which is a little bit of a beach out there that you got to take a boat to, but great place anyway. And then, of course, we've got lots of forests and parks. In Portland, we actually have, this is in Portland, not in Gresham, but in Portland, there's Forest Park, which is the largest urban forest in the United States, believe it or not. So that's going to be about, I don't know, 30-40 minutes away, depending on traffic, of course. But like, again, just the overall easy access to nature is what I'd say for number 4. We're going to chat a little bit about the school districts and the schools. I will say that they are a little subpar. Now, look, if you are coming to Gresham or you're coming to Oregon where you want your kids to feel inclusive and have like a super great super fan section and rowdy sports and just all inclusive when it comes to sports, then Gresham's your place. Gresham, throughout the state of Oregon, gets like the #1 super fan section in the state of Oregon when it comes to sports. So our fans and community is just very inclusive and supportive when it comes to Gresham. That being said, if what's on your highest priority list are academics, graduation rates, I will say Gresham's graduation rate right now is about like 72%. The national average graduation rate, I want to say, is about 80%. So just above, under average. So certainly something to keep in mind when house shopping. But of course, that's always why people reach out and call us and say, where should we move to? Okay, so now for pro number 5, what I'd like to chat about is the overall affordability, right? In Gresham, because it's a smaller population-wise, small town community vibe, rather than some of the other small suburbs outside of Portland, the affordability, generally speaking, is a little bit better. As far as the outside suburbs, it's probably one of the best as far as affordability. Some buyers do come to us and they're puzzled, like, Lucas, where do we go? We're not really quite sure. We're just kind of timid as to what to do or where to go next. Don't worry, give us a call, shoot us a text. Make sure to drop a comment at the end of this video. We'll be sure to reach out to you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and give us a call. Other than that, we'll catch you at the next one. Okay, so for con number 5, what I'd like to chat about is a little bit about the crime. So crime does vary neighborhood to neighborhood, as we've chatted a little bit about homelessness, affordability. There are nicer neighborhoods and some nice not neighborhoods. It really just depends on the location and what side of Gresham that you're in. As you get more towards like southeast, east Gresham, sandy and boring area, it's going to be, generally speaking, it's going to be a little bit more safer. And then as you get closer to Portland, generally speaking, the crime rates are going to get a little bit higher. Like I had mentioned earlier, crime rates are going to vary neighborhood to neighborhood, which, like, again, why it's so important to do your own research and why so many people are calling us today, helping them find a home in the correct neighborhood.